almost 40 films and 2 Oscars, Jodie Foster remains one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses. In her new movie, The Brave One, she plays a radio talk show host trying to pull her life together after a brutal crime until she realizes it will never be the same.
I always believed the fear belonged to other people. Weaker people. It never touched me. And then it did. And when it touches you, you know that it's been there all along, waiting beneath the surfaces of everything you loved.
And Jodie Foster is with us. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
So good at that.
What?
Huh? Well, that whole acting thing, but that the conceit in this is that you're this talk show host.
Yes.
Who loves New York City.
Yes.
And comes on a radio show and just talks about this beautiful place where you live, and that's who you are.
Well, in some ways, the nostalgia of what New York used to be, right? Before Times Square was Disneyland. You know, some of the things that are disappearing before our very eyes.
Right.
And, of course, as she is disappearing before our very eyes.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful movie. I have to say, it's one of the best movies I've made in years. I'm so proud of it.
It wasn't written originally like that. What, for a talk show host? Wasn't that your idea?
Yes. Yeah. It was written originally as a sort of any kind of journalist.
Right.
And the idea of having there be this music that's her voice that kind of carries you through the film in the night as she walks in the night really appealed to me, and for a lot of reasons and for a lot of narrative reasons.
Sure, sure. This horrible, horrible, horrible thing happens to you, and you change. Is this a metaphor for something bigger, or is this just something that happened to a person?
Well, I think it's a personal story, of course, and you follow this character and you stand in her shoes. I mean, you change with her, but it's also in some ways a metaphor for, you know, post 9/11 America, post 9/11 New York. Here's a place where there's a cop on every corner, and we're the safest big city in the world, and Times Square is Disneyland, and every condo costs millions of dollars. And why is it that underneath the surface of things there is this fear, and it's a fear that's been there all along and just was waiting to be awakened.
Yeah. Everybody loves you because you're the thinking woman's actress and all this other stuff. And this is sure not on the notes, but I have to tell you, there's a love scene in this movie.
Yes.
You're in good shape. What?
Yeah, that's funny.
Huh?
Well,
what?
yeah, I guess so. Well, you know what? The love scene is quite interesting in the movie because it's also intercut with also violent images, and this idea of the body and what the body represents to her. You know, she's just a voice. She's not a face. She's not a body. He was her body. Her boyfriend was her body. And when she loses him, she becomes a ghost in some ways. So the idea of the body is very important in the film.
Yeah. The when you get ready to make a movie,
Yes.
how do you know? How do you know when you're reading on the page? Because you don't miss much.
Well, you know, I love literature. I love language. I love words, and that's what gets me going in the morning. I think that's what moves me, and so that's what I have to find when I make a film. And sometimes it means coaxing it out of the script. You know, sometimes it means really working on the script, and sometimes it's already there.
Yeah, yeah. I want to jump subjects a little bit because you've been doing this. Were you 3 when you first started in the business?
41 years I've been in the business. Almost 42. Yeah.
Well, back to my original subject. How old are you? And you look, you know.
I'm 44.
Okay. All right. We see so many kids coming up who have imploded, are imploding, are struggling in so many ways. When you see this happening, sort of, you know, in every tabloid that's out there, what do you think? What do you know that maybe they ought to know?
Well, it's a different time now than it was when I was 18. When I was 18, we all made fools of ourselves, and people didn't have those big, long lenses following you around wherever you went. So, and I'm sure you made a fool of yourself, too, when you were 18.
even just this morning.
Yes. You know, the ability to be free is important for young people, but also, you know, when I was 18, they didn't pay people with crazy amounts of money. You know, you had to sort of work and have a body of work behind you. It just was a different time, and also, you know, I different circumstances. My mom was quite clear about compartmentalizing my life. So there was work, which was from 8 o'clock in the morning until 6 or 7, and then after that, that was your real life, and that's who you really were. And all of the cappuccinos that get brought to you and the makeup and all that kind of stuff really belongs in the work world. That doesn't belong in the other world.
Interesting. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Pleasure.
As always. Yeah. I'm going to shake my hand. So. We've been doing this a long time, right?
We have. It's been many, many years. I'm not going to even say how many, because I don't want to date you.
You don't want to date me?
Well, that's not what I meant. I mean, I'd love to date you, but I don't want to date you.
All right.
Whatever. You
Enough said. Jodie Foster, thank you.